Hello, I'm Dr. Stephen Novicki. SHOCKSTRIP has the potential to revolutionize sports by protecting athletes from the effects of debilitating head injuries. As with any device, there are skeptics who might question the effectiveness of such a claim. Let me take the time to address some of these questions and hopefully make believers out of those who have their doubts. Through my chiropractic practice, I have seen many athletes with impact injuries. It made me question why something wasn't being done to protect these athletes and created a fire within me to do something about it. Through my education, I studied neurology and physics, and being naturally inquisitive, I also researched various materials that could provide the right properties to absorb strong impacts. Most importantly, we conducted a 3-year field study to determine that SHOCKSTRIP made a difference to lessen head injuries resulting from helmet-to-helmet contact. In fact, SHOCKSTRIP has been worn by over 750 players in over 15,000 games with no significant injuries to any athlete. Studies have shown that one of the ways to reduce concussions is by strengthening the neck. While the SHOCKSTRIP is made of a lighter material, having it placed on a helmet can actually help in strengthening the cervical spine, as well as helping the player reduce helmet-to-helmet impacts. One of the biggest concerns with engineering was that the strips needed to be low profile enough, rounded on the edges, and separated in such a way as to not interlock. We have done helmet-to-helmet grinding tests and determined that there is no evidence that they will interlock. The Center for Disease Control has made a model that shows when there is impact, the brain shifts and moves inside the skull. The most current research from Stanford University refutes this and in fact has shown that the brain does not move nearly as much as once thought. The Stanford study further reveals that if you can reduce the impact of the helmet region, which SHOCKSTRIP has proven to do, the probability of helmet impact injuries are greatly reduced. In the world of science, there are always going to be differing opinions and theories. We have done a 3-year field study with SHOCKSTRIP placed on the helmet, and this study overwhelmingly revealed that a player with SHOCKSTRIPs on their helmet is much less likely to receive a helmet-to-helmet impact injury compared to a player without SHOCKSTRIPs on their helmet. The Federal Trade Commission requires any device such as ours to carry this disclaimer. We did a baseline test without a SHOCKSTRIP on the helmet, and then the exact same test with SHOCKSTRIPs placed on the helmet. The results were overwhelming that a helmet with SHOCKSTRIPs revealed less helmet-to-helmet injuries. These companies have seen the testing and are well aware of the results. We can only surmise that they are protecting their own interests. I've had company presidents state that if their helmets are worn properly, you won't need SHOCKSTRIPs. Another has said if the helmet isn't the problem, it is the athlete not being physically at peak performance. This is a pervasive problem and has been in the news over and over. Obviously, the helmet needs to provide better protection. SHOCKSTRIPs will help. The FTC requires this disclaimer, and quite frankly, I agree with this statement 100%. There is not a helmet, exercise, or device that will prevent or eliminate the risk of concussions other than not playing at all. At SHOCKSTRIP, we realize this, and our job is not to prevent or eliminate, but to reduce the probability. Our 3-year study reveals that SHOCKSTRIP does this. Yes, it will, but let me explain. A warranty on a helmet has no liability value whatsoever. Unless your athlete suffers bleeding on the brain or a skull fracture, there is no legal recourse for you to claim against the helmet company. Simply, This is a scare tactic for those large corporations to not have people use safety devices such as mine, and just to show you our confidence, we will pick up the remainder of anyone's helmet warranty, no questions asked.